Where's that camera? Oh, there we go. Hello, everybody. How's it going? What's up, New York City? Yeah, like that. Shoot me a chat in the bottom right corner with where you're in from as people start to filter in here, and I'm gonna dive right into it because we're all busy people. Um, but yeah, thanks for joining, guys. I know it's really quick notice, but kind of it's good to grab our people, the people that we interact with and that we talk to every day to show them the cool stuff that we're working on and to get feedback and to talk about it and work through, solutions that they have been asking for a long time. What's up, Christian from LA? We got Glenn over at Chicagoland. August, it's probably amazing in Chicago right now, actually. Virginia, that's awesome. I'm from Maryland originally, so spent a lot of time in Virginia. Awesome. Let's see. One thing I like to do in the beginning, add a little Polsky. So let's say I have selling my line. Yes. No. Okay. First question. I like to ask a bunch of these throughout, if possible, so I get a sense of who's on here. If you started selling something already, give me a yes. If not, you haven't sold anything yet, your pre-revenue, give me a no. So I know what the situation is. All right, cool. So I want to jump into I made a little presentation this morning to show you guys this new program. There should be a Q&A thing as well somewhere. So go ahead and answer any or ask any questions that you have. And once we're done, I'll get to just any Q&A that you guys have. All right. But I'll try to get to that as quickly as possible so that you have any of the questions that you have for my team, you can ask me and I can answer them. So any questions at all that you have, hold on to them and let's make sure that they're answered before the end of this conversation. Okay, cool. All right, so if you don't know me, my name is Zach Hurley, co-founder of Indie Source. I'm going to share my screen here. Well, let's do the window. That'll be better. All right. So let's see if I can go in here and hit present, if that will help. Oh, I'm going to change it. I'm going to do screen share, entire screen. This, I think, will be easier for you guys. Can everybody hear, before I jump into full screen, can everybody hear me okay? Can I get a yes, Zach? I can hear you real good. Looks like 61% so far have started selling, 38% have not started selling. Okay, cool. April, we have started. If you can't, it says that you're private, so I don't know what exactly that means. All right, good. You can hear me. All right, let's rock. I'm gonna just go into full screen mode here and put this up, so I won't be able to see you guys, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Oops, not that one. I want to do this guy, and I'm gonna go. Oops, here. I'm gonna go play. All right. This should do it. All right, thanks, guys. Today we're talking about how to fast track your brand to market in half the time and cost. Holy crap, how do you do that? We're going to get through it. My name is Zach. I'm that guy on the right. I think you can see my face too. I'm not sure. Anyways, I appreciate you guys joining me. I'm not going to go too much into like history or anything like that. If you've signed up for this, you know who we are. We've worked with over 600 emerging and established brands. Even though we've worked with some big brands, our bread and butter and the people that we mainly serve are the independent fashion brands. The people always say, oh, who have you worked with that's big? It's like, all right, we work with some big brands, but I get way more pleasure out of helping somebody with an idea, bring that to life and actually start a real company so they can quit their 9-to-5 than I do like getting an order from like a big company. So, all our goal has always been to help empower the next generation of independent fashion brands. And this is just another stepping stone along that journey. Some cool news, recent news, Indie Source just made the Inc. 5000 list. So because this is recent, I just wanted to share it. And I think that the little snippet here explains it pretty well, right? Indie Source helps emerging fashion brands navigate complex supply chains in bringing products to market. Why is that? Because we make custom apparel. That's what we've been doing forever. So we're going to talk a little bit about the industry landscape, okay? What I want to go into is explain what's happening, what are the options for you guys as you're starting to launch brands, and what do I see happening? Now, the cool thing is I have a lot of data. And the reason I have a lot of data is because I have tens of thousands of people from all over the country reach out to our company, and they say, I want to start a line. And so we know what they're looking for. We know what who's succeeding. We know why they're succeeding. We know a lot of different things about different brands. And so when typically what I find is when somebody is trying to start a clothing line, they're sort of like stuck between two options, right? They're like, all right, first option is blanks. So, you guys still with me? Okay, cool. All right, sorry, there we go. All right, first option is the blanks game. You guys have seen this everywhere. It's like all over the internet. It's what everybody does. Some random t-shirt that you find that you print on and it looks kind of crappy, but people do it. So you've seen this. A lot of influencers do this, celebrities, but then a lot of just regular people do this kind of stuff. This is printing on demand. Let's talk about what happens though. What happens is that most people, because there's a low barrier to entry and you can easily do this, here's what they do. They sell a product at $25 because they're like, well, it's a t-shirt and it's kind of like whatever, right? I got to be competitive. They sell it at $25 because it looks like everybody else's. The product costs $12.50, right? Maybe including the print. You have a profit of $12.50, but then it costs you $50 to market the thing, so you lose money. Now, a lot of people do drop, what's it called, like the drop shipping stuff or blanks. It's not extremely scalable. Let's talk about the pros and cons of doing blanks to start your line. Here are the cons. You have no differentiation from the other guy. Just you're literally printing on the same t-shirt as the guy next to you. I remember the first time I went to Magic back in 2011. I would literally go rows and rows of men's streetwear, and every single brand was printing on the same shirt. And I was like, are you guys making any money? And they were like, no. I was like, okay, like you realize you literally have the same product as like every person. There's all of you look identical. Like you're not different. So there's no differentiation. And if you're starting a brand, that's like, what's the point? Number two, limited variety of styles, t-shirts, hoodies. Like there's not that many that you see out there, right? It's like kind of limited in terms of the range. There is some range, but usually blanks companies are doing really, really basic stuff. Quality is typically very bad. You can only, like I mentioned before, charge a low retail price point. You have limited artwork location. So you see here on the right side, your custom design here, because the blank is made first, you can only print it in a certain part of the garment, right? You can't print it on a sleeve. You can't print it underneath a pocket. You can't, I mean, there's so many limitations because it's already made. So you're left with this square. And everybody knows it's kind of cheesy to do that. Sometimes it can be cool, right? And sometimes you do just want a screen print, but you're limited. Next, it's terrible for the environment. Why is that? Well, because these blanks companies make blanks by the literal millions of units. Those units sit in a warehouse somewhere in the US or wherever it's going to be near where they're selling it, and they gather dust until someone decides to sell it to a print shop, and then the print shop sells it to you, and then you sell it to somebody else. And then lastly, it lacks brand characteristics. So like I was saying before, it's hard to build brand around something that other people have. All right, what are the pros? Pros are low MOQ, cheap. It's easy to start without a lot of money. Two, it's already made, so it can be fast. And then lastly, it's better than nothing if you have little to no budget. So why do I say this? Well, in the beginning, sometimes, and I'll get into this later, momentum is important. And so in the beginning, sometimes there's a value of trying to sell something getting your chops, which is selling a product, and then from there investing that money. So it's sometimes better than nothing if you don't have any budget. All right, this is custom. I'm going to show you some different custom screens products that we've made, and it's different. It's differentiated. I mean, we talk about 600 brands. We're making like thousands and thousands of styles over the years. It's a lot of stuff, right? This is all stuff that Indie Source has made. Custom. More and more custom. These are custom products. The process of developing something custom takes time. It is not an immediate thing, but at the end of it, you achieve something that is unique, that is different, that is of value. And that's why product development is so important. But once you've done it, you have achieved that result. Okay. Some of you have seen this. This is like in our office, it's a huge blown up thing. If any of you have done fittings at Indie Source, then you know what I'm talking about. This is custom. This is just a funny example. Pizza Hut, we did jackets for Pizza Hut. Literally made this out of the material that you used to like put the pizza in to keep it warm. This was custom. Holy cow. I mean, we sourced materials from all over the world. There's like a just pocket for your pizza. There's like a thing for your phone. It was an outrageously complicated style. It was custom and it was what they wanted. So, it worked out, but Pizza Hut has money and they got a lot of it. All right. What happens here when you make custom? Well, the numbers do get better, right? So when you make a unique product, you can sell it for more. When you sell it for more, all right, now you're selling it at 120. Product cost might be higher because you're selling it more. So maybe that's 30 or 40 or something like that. Your gross profit, now you have $90 in gross profit. You acquire a customer for $40 and now you're netting $50. That actually starts to make sense. So the numbers is what drive what we're talking about. Let's talk about the pros and cons of custom. So the cons is that it is a significant investment in product development, right? So if you only have say $5,000 or $10,000, you spend it on development, you're done. You just have samples, right? So now and that's good because you've made some progress, but how are you going to recoup that investment? That's the problem. So longer lead times, obviously that is a challenge as well. There's a fragmented supply chain. It's difficult to navigate as a new designer. The pros, you can make exactly what you want, exactly what you have envisioned. It only takes one it's the only one that exists in the world. In other words, you have made something completely unique. And that's something I really appreciate and I think is amazing. It's what we've been doing for so long. You can charge a much higher price point, and it is a brand builder. You'll notice there's a difference between, take a look at some celebrities, for example. Look at Jessica Alba or Kate Hudson and her Fabletics line. They're building brand, whereas other celebrities just put up merch on their store. Fabletics is literally multi-$100 million company because they built a brand, whereas you still have celebrities that have the same number of followers as Kate Hudson does, but they don't have a brand. They're just selling t-shirts. You know what I mean? It's merch. It's not the same thing. And so now they only make money from being an actor or something. So if you want to create legacy and build something that will create an asset for you through time, you need to build a brand. It has to be some focus. All right. So culminating this together, how do I sum this up? Well, I think blanks are lame and custom is expensive. It's true. It is expensive, right? And I want to make something clear. I'm not poo-pooing on custom because I believe and I love custom. What I'm looking at here is the data around what you guys have. Okay. So if you have the ability to do custom, I think it's an incredible thing, but not all of you have the resources to do it or the time. And so there's another option that we're coming up with and we're working on really, really hard so that it makes sense for you guys, right? So this is the old way. And as I mentioned, when we talk to people, they kind of have money for development or production. If any of you have seen our kickoff meeting or have been through it, it's where we sit down with you and we go through all of your styles and we really try to get a sense of, well, what is this collection that we're doing? And oftentimes at the end of this meeting, they're okay, well, I have a certain amount of money for this thing, and they just have enough funds for the development or the production. And if they don't produce, there's no way to recoup that money. You can't make a return on the investment. So we created Build a Brand, this new program, as a way to fast track that path to revenue and eliminate a lot of the things that make it expensive, that make it really costly. Okay. All right, so let's look at this, the build a brand structure. Let's look at what's different here. Number one, on the left side here, you're going to see custom products where we are sourcing materials and pre-sourced materials and patterns. So in other words, what that means is instead of saying, all right, we're going to spend the next 2 to 3 months looking for a fabric that's going to be in Timbuktu, and we're going to help you do it, right? The waters are treacherous, but because we know where to go, it's faster, but it's not instant, right? We haven't sourced it yet. We have to go through that process of sourcing and going back and forth and doing lab dips and all these different things. In this structure with Build a Brand, we pre-sourced the materials, and we've only sourced materials that are in stock and pre-dyed and have prints already, right? So they already are colored, they already have prints. Why is that important? Because the dyeing process is significant. It takes so much back and forth, it's expensive. And so we wanted to cut out that piece and provide the fabrics and materials that are accessible that we can offer to you guys right away. That's one huge reason why this goes 4x faster. The second thing is that, we're going to be able to make samples really quick because the patterns have been built. Although you can make some adjustments to it. I mean, we can't change the whole garment, right? But you guys can, once you receive samples, you can make small adjustments to it. Again, it's something that you just can never do with a blank thing because it's already been made. And what we're doing is we're pairing custom products and this custom sort of structure of pre-made assets with software. So within the software, which I'm going to show you guys in a second, you can build products with drag and drop tools. You're going to be meeting with our brand consultants who are merchandising experts. They have launched many, many brands, right? So they can help you identify which products to pick, how to merchandise them, and sort of come up with the best plan for what you should actually put out there. And you'll be creating these virtual samples before you even make one, okay? So what comes in I thought this was like a little Gippy. Anyways, the guy's opening the box. So it comes with a fabric box, number one. So in the box is going to have in-stock fabric, in-stock trim, labels, some other goodies that we're throwing in there. All of the sourcing, boom, done in an instant, right? Something that takes 2, 3, 4 months, right away. We can make decisions quickly. This is the goal. Decisions quickly, momentum, and getting people to market fast. Oh, look, it did give me a little Giphy thing. Look at that. That's awesome. All right. Next, we're going to do a design meeting. We're going to select styles, select fabrics. In that meeting, we're going to upload your graphics. Ask yourself, do I have graphics? Do I want graphics? Do I have a graphic designer? If you don't have one, we can connect you with one, but that's something that you do need to bring to the table if you're looking to do any sort of screen printing or put your logo on something. Do you have that? Well, in this system, and I'll show you guys how we can upload them. We're going to talk about discussing production plan and quantity. I'll get into why that's so critical in a second. And then lastly, merchandising. So this is what's going to happen in that design meeting, okay? All right, now let's talk about production because this is the key, right? If you can't produce, you can't make money. And we're all here because we want to create something for ourselves that is income producing so we can actually make some money, right? Now, if knowing production pricing is important before you start, this is a great option. Here's what happens. With custom development, you truly can't know what your production pricing is. Why? It's because you don't know what fabric's going to be. How much is it per yard? What percentage of the fabric do you use in one garment? It's a lot of math. I mean, it's simple math. It's not complicated math, but it is math. And to put together a costing sheet, we have to really know all of the items in the list. And the difference here is when we've made decisions on materials and we already know the construction and the quantity that you're going to be producing, because you'll decide and you'll talk with your project, the brand consultant about that. Then boom, now we know our numbers and we know our numbers quickly. Like that's just, I can't emphasize how important that is and how cool that is to be able to know your production numbers like within a couple of days rather than like months into the process. It's awesome. So for example, let's take a look at one example using this sort of structure, okay? I pay $20 for a unit for style X. I make 300 of them. Okay, so that's $6,000 in inventory that I'm putting out. I sell that for $68 per unit, 68 times 300. I have a gross profit of $20,400, right? Pretty good, right? Or sorry, that's my gross revenue, and my gross profit would be reducing the cost at $14,400. And then of course, oh my God, what do I do with that money? You need to spend that money on marketing, right? So that doesn't include your marketing costs or whatever that would be. But the cool thing is I know many of you do not have much overhead. So majority of overhead in your expense category is all going to be marketing, branding, getting the word out there, okay? All right, let's see the visualizer. I'm going to pop out of here. I'm going to go back to this. I hope it's way better. I use Teespring and Printful. Yes, Tremaine. Oh my God, great point. I'm going to turn this off for a second and I'm going to show you guys the visualizer. Here's a key distinction I want you guys to understand. Printful, Teespring, these companies do not manufacture. They print. They're a printing company. You're a printing company. You're not making anything. It's already made, okay? So that's the difference. Like Printful, but with better options. Again, it's a key difference. What we are doing, okay, is putting in patterns, assets, sort of like retail ready, nice stuff that can go into the system. And then the actual pattern itself is imported. And you'll see in a second when I show you, it's not like when I go to like these sites, like a Teespring, it's like a photo of a t-shirt and then a square. And on the inside, I can like drop some clip art. It doesn't look good. And you're not going to be able to sell it for much, right? So let's see if there's any. I have no issues with blanks. Great, Tremaine. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you're doing well with that. I want to quit my job. Okay, I'm just checking out your guys' things right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you this window right quick. Awesome. So check this out. All right, so here I'm going to just show you an example really quickly, right? And a lot of you guys want hoodies, so I'm just going to show you this hoodie example. So come in here. We have these preloaded, okay? So you get your box in the mail, right? You get your box in the mail, and you're going to have these different options. We're picking the style, okay? So let's say we picked hoodie. In your box, you're going to have several fabric options. So for example, this is a cotton fleece. And it has the composition. This is an 85% poly, 15 cotton. We have a 60-40. You'll have different fabric options in your box. Then you'll obviously be able to come in here and choose the different colors that you want. Again, this is all in stock, ready to go, right? So choose your fabric. Each fabric will have different options, right? So if you're picking this fabric, you're going to have a different fabric option in the actual fabric. If you zoom in, you can see I'm changing this fabric here, right? This is an actual different material that's being loaded. So these are the options that are available. You guys can pick and play around with in terms of in-stock fabrics, okay? Other styles may have prints as well, like a lot of like the athletic stuff, like leggings, or athletic materials come with prints too, which is super cool. So what you're seeing right here, this is not a like random image. This is the actual pattern itself that has been uploaded into the system. So it's not like an example. It actually is the pattern. So the idea here is you guys can actually see what this thing is going to look like. When we move over here, we go to the artwork session, you're going to have control over exactly, again, where the artwork is going to go, okay? So again, you guys aren't going to have to do this. In your design media, you're going to have a specialist that will be able to use this tool with you. You're going to work through designing each one, adding and uploading your artwork, and modifying whatever it is that you want to modify, okay? So if you come in here, well, I'll just turn this around, for example, so you can see this example. Let's say we're doing back. I'll turn that on. So the Indie Source logo is just a placeholder, but you could take anything, right? You could go in here, the library. I could put this dude right here on the back. Well, actually, let me do this. Put this dude on the front so I can show you something cool, actually. So if we put this guy on the front here, bop. So he's here. Now notice what I'm doing. I'm bringing this guy down here, and it's just showing me this one piece. I'm going to apply changes. Actually, I don't like that. I want it to be a little bit higher. So check it out. I'm going to put it up here. But look at this. You see how the pocket is over top? Well, the reason that happens is because the print is done before it's sewn. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the piece. We're going to print this artwork onto it, and then we're going to sew. This is not something that you can do with these other companies that are just printing on pre-made goods, right? So that was like a kind of a cool example of what we're able to do. And I'll come down here and show you. Again, this is like, you got the panda in the pouch. I just made this up right now, so don't laugh at me. And then, of course, you can come on the back and add anything you want, right? So there's no obligation to print anything in particular, right? But you can come over and you can add anything that you want on the back, on the pocket, on the sleeve, right? All of these are options for you guys to be able to choose from. You get the point, okay? So I'm not going to go into this anymore. If anybody has any other questions about this, let me know, but I just wanted to show you. So at the end of this meeting, so once you've designed these, they're going to take all the different things that you have created, okay? They're going to actually put them in an assortment vehicle so that you can actually see them together, your styles together. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to talk about the actual production order. For example, how many units you're wanting to do, how many per color you're wanting to do, right? You're going to break down this like ideal order together. And what's so cool is that by the end of that meeting, what my team is able to do is they can go in and they can give you guys pricing on the spot. So you can know the production pricing and any sample pricing right away. All right. Let's see, what questions do we got here? Thank you, Victoria. I agree. Tremaine, I'm a designer. Okay. All right. Yvonne, can I modify the cuffs with a larger length cuff style? So here's how we do modification structures, right? So we're going to make an initial sample. If you guys want to make slight modifications to it, it's possible. You just have to pay for that modification, right? But it's going to be significantly less than what you would do in a custom scenario, right? So we just need to pay for a new set of samples, like with an adjustment, Yvonne. And that's something that the brand consultant will give you a price for. So if you know out of the gate you're trying to make a certain modification, then they can do that, and we can make that that change for you. Okay. All right. So that's basically the structure. What is the benefit of this over print on demand service for those who can't afford inventory? If you can't afford any inventory, you have to do print on demand. But I don't know. I mean, you're sort of in a tricky situation, right? Because if your only option is print on demand, then you're printing on other people's clothing, right? So this is not for everybody, right? This is only for people who are stuck between the two worlds. If you like blanks and that's working for you, good for you, you know? But most of the people that come to Indie Source don't come for blanks. They come to Indie Source because they want to create something different, something unique. So the option isn't really between blanks. It's really now between, do I want to spend months developing something custom, or do I want to really create or tap into what you guys have built and then just hit the ground running with something and then jump into the market. All right, Caroline asked, if the minimum is 300, can I choose 100 red, 100 white? Yes, you can break it down. Our minimum is going to be based on the vendor's minimum. So for example, it probably would be like 3 colors, not like 50 units, right? It'd be like, because you need to buy a whole roll of fabric. So three colors. If you break 300 down into 3 colors and then you break those 3 colors into sizes, you're talking like 20 per SKU. So I will not accept anybody on this call that tells me they can't sell 20 units per SKU. I believe in you guys way too much. So I know you can sell 20 units per SKU. You're putting all this money into taking photography and shooting it and all this other stuff. So believe me, you guys can sell 20 units per SKU. So that's how I would look at that. All right. Going back to my little, oh, you guys are feisty over here in the chats. I really like this. Okay. All right. Going back to my little slide show. Entire screen. Oops, this is what I want. All right. So we saw the visual. I said virtualizer. I meant visualizer. All right, cool. Here's my question for you guys. What is your average order value? Okay. Type into the chat what your average order value is. Type it in. What's your average order value? And I'm going to look at it in a second. That is how much money your average cart value is. What is your average order value? Okay. Most people have a big problem. And this problem happens when you're selling blanks. They have a low AOV, very low. And they wonder why they can't make enough money to cover their marketing costs. So there's two reasons why this happens. Number one, the price of your products are low. You have low price products, okay? And if you're not selling something for more money, then your average order value is going to be low. And in some cases, this is okay, right? Because sometimes I'll give you a good example of a low product price point that actually like had worked for me in the past. Like last year during the pandemic, we sold masks, right? We were selling it for like 16 bucks, right? And then we donated one too. So we were selling that at a low price point. But here's where we covered our butts is we sold a ton of designs. It was really like one mask, but we sold lots of different ones. So our cart value, even though it was $16, our average cart value was like $70 or something, right? So it easily, covered anything that we needed to cover. And this ties to the second one, which is you're not selling enough products. There's not enough out there. So there's two options to create product breadth. One is you have more options within the same style. So this shirt, we're going to do it in a bunch of different colors, so it seems more filled out and there's more options on the screen. But the second thing is just offering more products. Most of you guys are selling a capsule collection, so you need to be selling outfits so that when I go to your website and I want to buy something, I'm not just buying the shirt. I'm buying the shirt and the shorts and the hoodie and the hat, right? That's what gets the AOV high. So that's what we want to really focus on, okay? So getting your AOV up, how do we do this? We do this by offering more styles on our website. We do this by offering different styles, and we do this by offering high quality stuff that is not in the saturated market of this blanks game, right? We need to differentiate, okay? So what is the value of this? Well, over 8 years, we've obviously invested thousands and thousands of dollars in patterns. We've invested tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, we spent millions of dollars on fabric and patterns probably over the years. And, this is a lot of institutional knowledge that we're creating and giving to you guys based on what we think really makes sense, of course. And of course, the knowledge in the process is priceless. All right. So the most important thing right now for anybody launching is actually momentum. Okay. So what do I mean by that? Momentum is this funny thing. So when somebody comes to us in the beginning, they're always like, oh yeah, like I want to start the site. I'm really excited. And when you're an entrepreneur, you need to have like that like payout kind of in your brain, right? Because like if you don't get some sort of payout as you're going through like the roller coaster, a lot of people freak out. So one of the things that I notice and I see is that you have to have some momentum, and you got to also like get to the point where you have something you can sell, something that you like that you can sell. Because here's the reality: is statistically, most companies don't achieve success, right? I mean, most businesses fail statistically. And so there's a lot of reasons for that. And a big one, trust me, is that people are selling the same stuff as the other guy, and there's literally no differentiation, and people aren't spending money on marketing. But a lot of it has to do with just momentum and really starting to put something out there. And I think this is a really cool opportunity for you guys to create momentum, sell this stuff. And then, of course, you can always reinvest back into more custom products in the future. But I think based on the data that I'm getting, a lot of you want to make this kind of stuff. You want to make activewear, basics, loungewear, stuff like that. So we're starting with those kinds of products, right? We're starting with like the most frequently requested products. But obviously, as this builds up, we can start to put more and more stuff together, okay? So, all right, you guys have seen the kickoff meetings that we do. That's $197. That's just a conversation, right? So what I'm doing is the Builder Brand Starter Kit is the same price, right? Except you get a lot more from it. So basically, what you get the box with the fabric and the trim, essentially doing your sourcing for you. You get this brand consultant meeting, access to the visualizer, access to these patterns, which cost thousands of dollars. Okay, and today for you guys that are on this, if you use code, did I say the code? Oh, there we go. If you use the code ACTION at checkout, I put it in the chat there, then it'll knock off $100 for this meeting, which is literally half off or more than half off, because I want to get you guys into this system, and I want to see some people taking action on this and using this tool. So I'm going to pop off here for a second, come back to your, oh, I don't have your faces. I wish I had your face, and answer a couple of questions. So if you don't have it already, let me just make sure that this is here. In the offer section, I just added it. So you see there's a little button that says action. Click on that button and that'll take you to the page so you can buy your Build a Brand starter kit. According to this poll, we have 53% of you who are not even selling anything yet, right? So for you, what I want is momentum. And for those of you, for the rest of you, it's yet to be determined how much we're actually selling. All right, what questions do we have here? So it helps to be a regular Kickstarter supporter already versus just using that platform yourself. What if you already had a kickoff meeting? If you already had a kickoff meeting, then I want you to reach out to us, and we'll set up a conversation, okay? We'll set up a conversation. If you've already had a kickoff meeting, or if you were a current IndieSource client, then, and if you send us an email today, then we'll work something out, okay? So just send us an email, let us know you're interested in doing the Build a Brand meeting and you want access to these styles, and I'll make sure that my team reaches out, okay? Yes, we do help with marketing, post-production. Part of why I'm calling this Build a Brand is because we don't just make stuff, right? We help fashion entrepreneurs succeed. We run 3 marketing programs, well, several, but mainly it's building high converting Shopify websites. Number 2, it's driving ads and traffic to your website through Facebook and Instagram. And number 3, it's making email marketing and SMS marketing for your customers and building that list. Those are the most impactful things you can do. And so those are the things that we offer if you guys are interested. Again, just reach out if you are. Here's another thing I actually want you guys to do. There are limited styles here, right? Because this is the first time we're launching this. So it is a beta in that sense, because we don't have 100 styles in the system. We've uploaded about a dozen or maybe 15. And so what I also want you guys to do is that if you're looking for certain kinds of styles, go ahead and hit reply on that email, that last email that we sent you, and send us photos of the kind of styles that you're looking for. What we'll do is we'll actually curate those and actually start to put together and see, okay, well, what styles are in the highest demand that we don't have in this system? And then we'll start to upload styles that you are requesting. I think that'll be a cool way to sort of crowdsource the demand from the designer pool. Cool. Said, I conducted my meeting with a brand consultant. I'm ready to go to the next level. Awesome. If you had your meeting, that means you already have a quote for probably custom, unless you just it's really recent and you did Build a Brand stuff. So, reach out to your brand consultant. They can help you with both. Our brand consultants can offer custom or Build a Brand. They can do both. So they're supporting you in each situation, depending on what you guys need. Do we pay per print? Hit customize? Yes. Based on your artwork, that is how they come up with the quote, right? So it's not just the artwork. It's the fabric you pick. It's the style you pick. It's the artwork. It's the number of colors in your artwork, and it's the quantity. So so we have a matrix, right? And based on what you are creating, they can put together the pricing very quickly, but you have to know the artwork, because you're right. That's a core cost component. And without that, we don't really know what it's going to cost. We can give you pricing without artwork. Okay. You can only do a mock sample. I don't really understand that question, Caroline. I'm sorry. Let's see. A lot of good questions here, guys. If I already purchased the brand videos, haven't done my meeting yet, can I still use this tool? If you have purchased the Brand Launch Academy, so you're going through the videos, that is just as relevant. So Glenn, for example, I think that's what you're saying, is that you have purchased the Brand Launch Academy. Once you complete that, if you complete that, you now gain access to a free kickoff meeting, or we'll give you a free Build a Brand starter kit, Glenn. So if you are in the Brand Launch Academy and you finish your videos, you get a free Build a Brand starter kit or kickoff meeting. I'll now make it available for either one, depending on what you want. So if you want to go and do that, then we'll send you a box, and that'll be included in the price you paid for the Brand Launch Academy. If anybody else wants more information on that, if you just go to indiesource.com, it's at the very top bar. It's a little blue bar, Brand Launch Academy. It is the educational platform, so you guys can get really clear on what you're making. It's like 0.00001% of a fashion degree. So, I think it's worth it. Anybody else have anything else? Krista, the one that I just showed you, that hoodie, that was like an example of the styles that are available. But we also have joggers, we have t-shirts for men and women. We have crop tops, we have long sleeve. There's a bunch that are in there. So, you know, and we're gonna, like I mentioned, we're gonna continue to add more and more styles. Okay. All right. What other products are there? As hoodies, t-shirts. Like I mentioned, and if you go onto the page where I have the offer and you click on that button action, you'll be able to see some of the styles in there. Okay. We have leggings, we have crop tops. So there's a bunch of different styles, and they really do make up like a pretty big portion of the requests we get. But if you don't see your stuff in there, then just send us an email with a photo of the styles that you're looking for. Okay. You're not purchasing the software. You are simply gaining access to the visual ability to make a sample digitally first, so that we can then eliminate many rounds of sampling and the whole process right there. Cat size range, most are extra small to extra large. So most sizes are available. If you have a particular size, just make sure to ask for it. How much of our cost is to indie source for using the software? We're not charging for that. I mean, that's why I'm saying like the 197 is such a ridiculous deal, because we're giving you access to patterns, we're giving you access to the software, we're giving you access to our team, and we're sending you a fabric box. So it's like there's no reason not to do that, because it's now significantly more than just the 197 custom meeting. But the goal here is that we can sort of start to leverage something that is a little bit more scalable for the group. And you guys, at some point, I'd love to see us maybe even batch orders together so you guys can get better pricing. So, I mean, I think that that's all really important. I think I had a couple more slides here, so I just want to show you what those are. So basically, last time I'll do this. All right, so I told you $100 off, but I am going to turn this off after this meeting, or I'll turn it off tonight. I'm going to turn it off. So if you are interested in doing it for $100, go ahead and book it. All right, let's talk about the vision really quickly. How can we pair this amazing structure with the ability to manufacture on demand? Okay, so the reason I'm explaining this, guys, I want to end here. Our company vision is to help create the next generation of successful apparel entrepreneurs. Okay. So by investing in this structure, what you're doing is you're going to help us to actually create a future where we can create on-demand manufacturing. Okay. Where we can just completely blow this sort of print on demand thing out of the water. And you guys would be a part of literally of the most cutting edge type of production that exists on the planet. Okay. And so this is the first step. This is the first step. I want to make sure you guys understand like what we're working towards and why, our community is so important to us. Okay. So again, if you guys are interested in doing this, jump on this, take action on your dreams. That's all I got on the slide. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Zach says it depends on each manufacturer based on the product. This is true. There's always caveats when you're doing custom, right? But the cool thing about the structure is that it really is going to be very, very straightforward. MOQ stands for minimum order quantity. So it's how many you can order in a given style. All right. So if you guys don't have anything else for me, hit that action button, book your meeting, and my team will reach out. If there are zippers on the garment, you will have zippers, right? So every material and trim goes to a certain garment. It already makes sense for that garment. So if there's no zipper on the hoodie, you're not going to have a zipper. But if it's zip up, you would have a zipper kind of thing, right? So that's how you want to think about it. This is being recorded. Yes, I will send you guys a replay. You have to play the slow song like closing. You guys are hilarious. Anyways, thank you for your time today. I'll talk to you all soon. If you have other styles that you want, don't forget to send us a reply with the pictures so we can crowdsource and hive mind what you guys want. And have a great day. Crush it out there. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.